Hi, everybody. I'm Giles from What 3 Words. And at What 3 Words, we've come up with a really simple way to talk about location. Because actually, the world is really badly addressed. Voice has an addressing problem, or addresses have a voice problem. Either which way, it's really difficult to talk about a place. Because street addresses were developed hundreds of years ago. And they were specifically developed to deliver mail. And they're not actually designed for the way that we live today and the way that we're going to live in the future. They're just not accurate enough, and they're too prone to error. Coming here yesterday, I type in the name of the building, and the pin drops right in the center of it. So it's a little bit frustrating because I had to walk around to try and find actually the right spot I should have gone to. So that's frustrating for me as an individual. If I'm a delivery person, I'm doing that 100 times a day. That costs a lot of money. And if I'm a first responder, actually, the implications can be far, far more significant. And of course, street addressing doesn't cover everywhere. Places like this, or places like this. And that's a real problem when you're designing for voice. Because if I get into my car and I say, take me to Church Road, the car's going to say, well, there's 14 different church roads in London. Which one do you want to go to? Or I get into my car and I read this off a map and I try and actually pronounce it. A lot of things just aren't pronounced the way that they're meant to be. So Patchogue in New York, to someone who's not local, that's really difficult to understand exactly how to say that. Or Sault Ste. Marie in Michigan. Or I say, I want to go to 241st Street. And a voice assistant can't quite understand whether I mean 241 Street or 240 First Street. There's a lot of ambiguity and a lot of mistakes and problems that come up. You could, of course, drop a pin, which is fine if you're a digital environment, but if you don't have a screen, actually, it's really difficult to. So yes, when you're ordering an Uber, you can move the pin around and drop it on the map for where you want to get picked up. With voice first, you actually can't. So there are a number of different systems out there that attempt to solve this. And generally, they're a kind of alphanumeric system, which again is really, really difficult for voice assistants to understand. There's one there in the middle, which is GPS coordinates, lat long. Brilliant. We love lat long. They cover everywhere, and they're really, really accurate. But trying saying that into a voice assistant without getting something wrong. So at What 3 Words, what we wanted to do is come up with a user-friendly version of GPS coordinates, something that you could easily say. And so what we've done is divided the world up into 57 trillion 10-foot by 10-foot squares, and we've given each one of those squares a 3-word address. So 3 dictionary words to describe anywhere on the planet. So it means rather than the pin dropping in the center of a sports stadium, you can specify every single entrance and exit very, very simply. And of course, it means that you can reference anywhere in the world that doesn't necessarily have a street address. And not only have we done this in English, but we've done it in 35 other languages as well. We have a free app, which anybody can use to find a 3-word address. I encourage you to download it, put in your home address, and then move around until you discover the 3-word address that we've allocated maybe to your front door. And what we're seeing is people are using this app for many, many different things. They're using it to meet their friends at festivals and events. They're using it to specify the start of jogging trails or document where fantastic murals are, for example. They're starting to put it on their buildings, on their contact pages. The latest Lonely Planet Guide to Mongolia has just been published, and it's put the 3-word address of every single listing in that guide. A couple wanted to commemorate exactly where they got married, so we've got our first 3-word address tattoo. There's even a beer out there, and that is Fear Movie Lions, which is the precise spot that it came off the production line. So it's being used in popular culture. Even Imagine Dragons did a treasure hunt when they launched their latest album. Imagine Dragons Evolve is actually a 3-word address somewhere in the middle of the US, and they hid a bunch of stash there. So we're being used by lots and lots of people all over the world. But what we do have is code, and that's our business model. We sell our code to businesses who can make or save money or give a much better experience. And so our API and SDK is being built into all of these businesses. Now, in particular, we're seeing automotive, mobility partners using us a lot. So you can now get into the latest Mercedes-Benz, say 3 words, and it knows exactly where you want to go. It works a little like this.
Wake, hang, design.
The route to wake, hang, design is being calculated.
So no ambiguity, knows exactly where you want to go. There's a little compilation of some of the things that Mercedes-Benz are actually doing with the system.
Hey Mercedes, navigate to what 3 words? Connect, drove safety.
Release faster nerves.
Take me to what 3 words? Frog, sense, craft.
Window, switched, wallet.
Drive single beast.
Männer locken Akten.
少男规范底薪。
Now, one of the big issues in the big requirements from people when they buy a new car and what they want in a voice assistant is actually better navigation. And this is something that we solve because we've done some interesting things with the words. We've removed homophones, so things that sound the same but are spelled differently. So all of those are taken out to remove ambiguity. And then we've put similar sounding words very, very far apart. So table, chair, lamp is in America, table, chair, lamps is in America, table, chair, lamp is in Australia. So if I get into my car and I say, take me to, and I'm in New York, and I say, take me to table, chair, lamp, the system understands where I am, understands what I try to say, and then suggests, actually, I think you want to go to table, chair, lamps. It's the only system that's been built for voice that's got an error detection built into the system from the start. So after Mercedes, who have built us into their new vehicles, they've also invested and bought 10% of the company. We're also now in Fords. All in all, there's about 10 million vehicles on the road that can now accept a 3-word address. IBM's Watson autonomous vehicle has also built the system in. Part of the business model is that we give our tech away free to people who need it most. And so we've given it to the emergency services in the UK, the Red Cross and the UN are all using us for disaster relief and emergency services. And it's being used every day to save lives. This young mother crashed a car, was hanging upside down, didn't know where she was. The police talked her through how to use what 3 words, and they found her and rescued her and her daughter. And voice is a key part of being able to communicate a simple location in a circumstance like that.
Before that, as you may remember, we mentioned last week, Bedfordshire, Cambridgeshire and Hertfordshire Police are introducing a new location app to help them respond to emergency calls.
The What 3 Words app divides the world into 3 metre by 3 metre squares and gives each one a unique 3-word address so officers can pinpoint someone's exact location.
Well, the aim is to improve response times and ultimately save lives. Liz Summers has been to find out just how it works.
Open it up, I can speak into it, so thinks exact issue. So there you go, it's giving me a location, I can click on it, tells me exactly where that is.
They may seem like 3.
Which brings us to kind of why we're here this week, and that's to announce some of the work that we've been doing with the Alexa team with Amazon, and we've been working with them for the past few months. We've just launched a new skill as the kind of first project as part of that partnership. So now you can, or later on this week when we launch it in the store, you'll be able to find a 3-word address, understand how far it is to get to that 3-word address, and if you've got the appropriate device, actually get navigation to that precise spot. So we think that the world is very badly addressed. It's not addressed for the way that we are going to behave in the future and for certainly for voice input. And what 3 words is a solution to that. And we believe that better addressing can make the world much more efficient for businesses, much less frustrating for individuals, and ultimately much, much safer. And we're, as I said earlier, we're being adopted by people all over the world and kind of ingrained into popular culture. So I'll leave the final words to NCIS Los Angeles, where actually one of the members of the team gets kidnapped, and they find a cryptic 3-word clue in one of her notebooks.
Hetty's in trouble.
Found a hidden message in a book. We think it might contain a clue as to where she is.
Failed action skin. What does it mean?
It's what 3 words?
It's only a matter of time.
What 3 words is a geocoding system that maps the world into 3-meter squares, which are each given a unique 3-word identification. Skin failed action is 9 square meters somewhere on the planet.
Tigers and explosions. Couldn't get any better. So we've got some demo pods up with the massive Alexas. So please come and check it out and have a chat. Thank you.